Welcome to the 360 show as the Proteas win the Sri Lanka series, going to the top of the list in the WTC rankings. Incredible performance by Temba and his team as they're looking good heading into the series against Pakistan. The Aussies also, I want you guys about them with the bounce back ability of that team. They go 1-1 against India and it's all to play for in Brisbane. As England also finish up the series over there in New Zealand, going up 2-0 with an incredible route and a few others scoring some big runs. Great performance by England, but remember they're still out of the WTC. We will cover more about Root as he is climbing up that ladder of greatness, and we need to talk about him a bit. Also the WTC, SA only one win away, possibly even just a draw to qualify for the finals as they head into the Pakistan Tour 2-test match series coming right up. It's the 360 show, it's summertime, it's cricket time, let's go. Alright my friends, it's time for the 360 view. You know the story, 360 seconds for the 6 main topics of the week. As I hit it right now, it's the Proteas with that incredible win against Sri Lanka. Really clinical performance from Temba and his team. And Temba leading from the front. Look at him, he's the captain, he's flying. Absolutely insane shot that, I love that. When he curled up his legs and hit that one over the covers, going all the way. Fantastic performance. 2 test matches in a row for South Africa. Actually, that is 4 now in a row. Also, remember in Bangladesh, they won that series 2-0 and now 2-0 against Sri Lanka. They go in against Pakistan. Very important for them. The pressure is low because I think technically they might only need 1 draw out of the 2 test matches to qualify. But remember, points can be deducted. So rather go out, forget about the points and go and play your best cricket. Temba Bavuma leading from the front, as I mentioned, as South Africa won by 109 runs. Also some standout performances from Kyle Verreynne, 105 not out, batting with the tail enders and really guiding them to what I thought was a very important lead, giving that bowlers, and I often speak about this, giving the bowlers the freedom to carry their catches for longer, and it proved to be exactly what they needed in that first and second innings with the ball in hand, where they could carry the catches. Of course, the PE wicket wasn't so easy for the bowlers at times. Yes, there were always movement, but the minute batters got in, it was really difficult to get breakthroughs. Congrats to the Proteas, and they will be heading into the Pakistan series with a lot of confidence. The Aussies bounce back. I mentioned it to you guys leading up to the second test match. Watch out, these guys, when they get knocked down, they stand up pretty quickly. I love that about them. It's not always nice to play against, but I was expecting a comeback from them. And Pat Cummins and his troops got things together over there in Adelaide, playing a fantastic test match. Clinical performance from both batters and bowlers. And the standout batter, in my opinion, Travis Head, guys. I told you, Marnus Labuschagne, Steve Smith set up a nice foundation for him the night before. But Travis Head was absolutely incredible. I know there's a lot of journalists, a lot of former players who are upset with India's plans to Travis Head. And I've got to agree with that, guys. I think he is a 2-length kind of batter. You need to bowl 2 lengths to him. Nice and full, test those stumps, but also hard length. Let him get those gloves up. You often see him pulling up in the air. Lots of balls fly up in the air, over point as well, and the slip cordon. So maybe get that catching third man out there and have a nice field on the leg side for the short ball. And then ultimately you can almost surprise him with good top of the stump deliveries. But remember, I mentioned, his first 20 balls is where you need to get him out. When he gets to 20, 30 balls, he becomes a very dangerous player out there. So there's big question marks about the plans. Will India get it right in the 3rd test match that will kick off on Saturday, the 14th of December? 3rd test match at Brisbane, guys. Another fast wicket. And it's time for India to really step up with the character. I think the characters will be tested. We know they're playing away from home. The Aussie supporters will be in full force over there. Let's move on as we hit the halfway mark already. England win in New Zealand. Fantastic performance by Team England. Harry Brook, big 100 there in that first inning, setting things up. But the guy I want to talk about is the left-hander, Jacob Bethel. 96, unfortunately, coming up short. And Ben Stokes was quoted saying, I was devastated for him to not get to those 3 figures. And his response was, yeah, but it would have been flair if I smacked that through the covers. Anyway, he's young, he's a fantastic player, there's lots of potential, and it's very normal to get a bit nervous in the 90s. I'm very excited about this guy, guys. He's coming to RCB. I'm very happy to say that again, to reinforce that, because I think he's going to win a lot of games for Team RCB. Talking about Team England, Joe Root, the great Joe Root. Is he the greatest batter of all time in England? I think he's got a really strong case for that title. Remember, his ODIs and T20s not his strongest suits. So guys like Kevin Peterson might have something to say about this, who were more consistent in all formats. But his stats in Test cricket is unmatched. 3600s, getting into the top 5 now of all-time centuries scored. Absolutely incredible player. There's 1900s, guys, since 2021. He leads that by 10 centuries against the rest of the players out there. And also 100 scores of 50 plus in Test match cricket. He's reliable. He's Joe Root. He is Root, as the English supporters would say, the Barmy Army. Let's move on then to the World Test Championship standings, guys, as South Africa reached the top spot. And what I want to talk about here essentially is, how did South Africa get to the top? There's a lot of complaints, but I'll cover a bit more about that as the main topic for this 360 show. But South Africa is right on the top of the list, and who will they play in the final if they do qualify? Will it be India or England, or will India and Australia, or will India and Australia qualify? We don't know what will happen. We know South Africa's already there with 1 foot in the door, but essentially they just need one draw unless there are points deducted. I already spoke about that. And then last but not least, obviously they play against Pakistan. But can you believe it? The T20 match is already underway as I'm recording now, the day after the Test match. The scheduling is absolutely crazy. Heinrich Klaasen captains that T20 team. Going in against Pakistan, I do think the scheduling is not right. It's not fair. It shouldn't be happening like this. And I do feel they squeezed it in too much. Are we running a business here, or are we playing cricket? In my opinion, there should have been a bit of a gap there. Let the T20 series get played at some other time. But at the end of the day, they decided to go in with this young team, the Proteas, led by Heinrich Klaasen, and some exciting names there. But all in all, I do think the scheduling was not good. We also have a look at Pakistan's T20 squad there, captained by Mohammad Rizwan. It will be a fascinating T20 series, but in my opinion, all the focus is on the Test series. And that's it's a 360 view. We'll move straight up into the WTC discussion, guys, and I wanted to cover a little bit of that. How did South Africa end up in the top? I've read a lot of comments about people being upset, not about the Proteas finishing at the top or being at the top right now, having lost 2-0 in New Zealand, and then they played Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. A lot of people feel they didn't play the best teams. How did they get so many points? And vice versa for other sides who played against very strong teams, not being rewarded for good Test match series results enough. There's big confusion. I would like to hear what you guys think. Was this a fair system? I can tell you what I think. I don't think so. I'm very happy with South Africa at the top. I'm happy for Team India and also Australia, who are knocking on the door there. But I do feel the system needs some tweaking. I would love all the teams to play against each other. It's very difficult to say we're the best in the world, but we haven't played 6 of the Test playing nations, especially not the top teams like India and Australia and England. You need to go and beat those guys, and preferably even away from home, like in England, India. And I felt that, for instance, New Zealand, with a 3-0 win in India, deserved to get a lot more points and be rewarded for that. You don't want a complicated system, I get that. But I do feel at the end of the WTC, you want to look back and you want to say the 2 teams who played in the final were by a country mile the best teams. They deserved it. They performed under pressure, at home, away from home, against the best teams in the world, and that's why they are in the final and competing for the maize. That's the WTC for you guys. I want to hear your comments, so please let me know, and we'll discuss more of that in this coming 360 Live. Let's move on to ABReacts. I love this. As you guys would remember, I spent a bit of time in Dubai recently, and on my way home, my wife and I were relaxing with a cold drink and waiting for our flight to board, as a very familiar face tapped me on the shoulder. I looked around and I stared into the face of Ramanullah Gurbas, the IPL legend Afghanistan player. He was on his way to Zimbabwe, and I wished him all the very best. He's a fantastic guy, guys. I have met him before, but just briefly. And this time around, we had 10 minutes to just chat about cricket, about life, about his goals, and it was fantastic to catch up. And I was really taken aback by the humility of this guy and how genuine he was and nice. Just a fantastic guy, fantastic person. And I've had this experience with all Afghanistan players. I don't know what it is in the water there in Afghanistan, but They are all down to earth and incredibly spontaneous, nice people. Anyway, Gurbas, all the very best over there in Zimbabwe. I did reply to his message as well with his tweet, and I want to wish you all the very best. And I did tell him I'll meet him in the IPL and we'll have a bit of chat about cricket in general and life. So Gurbas, you go, you good thing. Joe Root, guys, as he got to that 100, we did cover him in the show, but this way he got to 100 absolutely took me back. Incredible shot, reverse lap over the wicket keeper to get to 100. Now, I've tried a few flamboyant things to get to 100s in my career as well, but this maybe puts the cherry on the cake. Joe Root, not only Mr. Reliable, but also Mr. Entertainment. Hopefully, he gets another bite at the cherry with ODIs and T20s and sort of kickstarts that side of his career as well. I would love for him to play more T20 cricket. I do think he's got what it takes to be a great performer there. Maybe a little bit underrated over the years, as I do feel with these kind of shots, he should be able to play all the formats and excel at all of it, and not only at Test cricket. And Elise Perry, guys, the first lady to surpass 7,000 runs and 300 wickets in international cricket. Congratulations, Elise. Fantastic performer for so long now. Also an RCBian who won the trophy not long ago for RCB. I love watching this girl play. I think she's absolute world class with both bat and ball in hand. But on top of it all, I feel she's got a lot of BMT. She plays big matches really well, and I'm a big fan of hers. All right, let's move on to the comms box as I'll cover some of your questions over the week, guys. This is awesome. Maybe you have no idea there are dedicated fans in every nook and corner of India, but who can't speak English. And AI will be a game changer, and your many dedicated fans will join the channels. Guys, thank you so much for that. I always try and improve this channel. I want to communicate better. I also want to put content out there that actually makes a difference and that you guys enjoy. So keep communicating to me, keep putting your comments down below. And I will work on that Hindi and other languages as well and try and fine-tune that to the best of my ability so that it can be understandable. Next comment, AB, always wanted to ask you, why didn't you ever captain RCB? Was it the management's decision or your personal preference? Because even during Colling's absence, you never assumed captaincy. Very true, guys. To be 1,000% honest, I was always pretty keen. I played under Virat, who's a very good friend of mine and an absolute great. So I always respected his space, stepped back, and did what a team man is supposed to do. I supported him and gave him every single little bit of knowledge that I have about the game, gave him my support through the ups and the downs, and that to me was good enough. Had the captaincy come my way, I would have taken it with both hands. There were times during my career at RCB where I felt like I wish I could captain a couple of games, especially the frustrating times where on the side you could see things going wrong and you almost get a sense of what is happening, but you didn't want to ever, I wouldn't want to ever go and scratch in the captain's corner, you know. Every player has got a different idea of how the game's supposed to run, where the momentum is heading, how we can get wickets, how we're supposed to bat out there as a unit. And the thing and the fact of the matter is you got to respect the captain, whether it was Kohli or other captains at the time. I was very happy just to play the supportive role and to be a team man. That's always been my motto, is the team is bigger than the individual. But yes, it was never actually taken up by me. So if I ever was very interested, it probably should have spoken about it. But I was happy playing under Virat. Maybe there were some times when he was absent where I should have spoken to the management about it. So I'll take full responsibility for that. SK Singh, why is South Africa not organising the Women's Premier League? They should. While Women's Premier League is being organised in India, Australia, England, I think they will catch up soon, guys. South Africa always lagging a little bit behind when it comes to administrative things and management from the top. But I'm pretty sure they will catch up. Hopefully, Graham Smith will see the initiative or take the initiative and do what he's done with the SA20. I think it's a fantastic tournament that he's done over here in South Africa, and there's no reason why the women shouldn't be playing with the men before or after the SA20 men's tournament. Last but not least, I think India and South Africa will play in the WTC 25 final. Ankit, I do agree with you. I feel India will show character going to Brisbane. I know the Aussies' tails are up, but never count India out. They also have a lot of character in the team, and I feel a lot of them will come good, as that wicket will have a little bit less movement than the one in Adelaide. Yes, it's still a quick wicket in Brisbane, but I do feel the batters of India will come good. And once they do that, guys like Bumrah and Siraj and the rest of the bowling attack will stand up. It's all to play for in the WTC. It's going to be a fascinating finish and a grand finale in 2025 at Lords. Hopefully South Africa will be there, and either India or Australia. We'll wait and see. It's all to play for between the two giants of Test cricket. Guys, thank you very much for joining me on this week's 360 show. Please subscribe to the channel as per usual. Follow me in socials and also like this show. Hit that bell notification if you want to be notified and you want to make sure you don't miss any of the action. Make sure to hit that bell notification. I am currently on holiday. As I said, it's summertime, it's cricket time. I'm going to be stuck in front of my television screen for most of these holidays, watching all the action unfold. I'm in a coastal town with my family, so I will be stepping out on the sea sand, and I will be swimming in the ocean with my children, making sure I do play lifeguard as well, because the seas can be rough. But wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful December. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'm going to mention it on every show leading up to that. It's a festive season. Have a great time. Take care. Look after yourselves and your families. And I will see you on the 360 Live. Have a good week.